Welcome back to News Geelong. The City of Greater Geelong Cowie Ward by-election is nearing its postal vote finale. Candidates are vying for the COGG position following the resignation of previous incumbent David Saunderson. Erin Pearson spoke with one of the candidates, hoping for the right result in Robert Doris.
As the voting continues to heat up for the Cowie Ward by-election, News Geelong continues to speak with up-and-coming candidates looking for the top job. News Geelong now speaks with Robert Doris, who is interested in getting his hands on the Cowie Ward position. Now, this is your first time heading up for election. Why have you decided to step up to the Cowie Ward this year?
I think the necessary community involvement. I've always been actively involved in the community, but it being helping out in various activities. And I think I just want to extend that into a major role for the community and help set some direction in regard to community education, parks, especially for the children, and making sure that the city are going in the right way.
And I know you've spoken up about sport and things like that. Those sorts of areas interest you. Is there any sort of other areas that you want to step into and sort of make a difference in? What are the main sort of top 3 areas that you feel important to you?
Education, again, community education. I'd like to see the city planning more for more future involvement. Again, I use the example of the area I live in. We currently don't have a primary school. We don't have a kindergarten.
Erin Pearson for News Geelong.
Thank you, Erin. News Geelong will have the result of the by-election for you in next week's bulletin. Scribes Writers Geelong are a dedicated group of people who enjoy the world of creating the written word. Meeting each week at the South Barwon Community Centre, the Scribes Writers group have produced many outstanding pieces of local stories, including 2 books, as Meryl Friend reports.
They say that if you can write a letter, you can write a story. If you can write a story, you can write a book. That's the catchphrase for the Scribes group in Geelong. And one of the people who knows a lot about that is one of the founding members, Vivian Worthington. You came to Geelong in your retirement, yes, and it seems like you found a brand new career.
I did. It's most unexpected. It still excites me and surprises me.
What brought you to the Scribes?
Well, I'd done some work at U3A. I'd had a go at learning some French, and then I thought I could write some stories when I started to research my family history, and realised I needed some more writing skills. I needed to be brought up to date, so I went to the Gordon Institute and did courses there, and that led to writing my first book.
Pioneer Tours.
That's the one, yes.
Tell us about that story.
Well, my mother always told us about the exciting times that she and her 7 brothers had when they lived in Melbourne, and their father started up bus tours and charabanc tours, and gradually went further and further.
It became part of the Ansett group?
Yes, 1943, when the war commandeered all vehicles. My family or my uncles were left with no cars. They had infrastructure and offices, but they didn't have any vehicles. So they were forced then to look around for someone to buy it. Well, Reg Ansett had always wanted it because he was a busman before he was took to the airways. And he bought it and developed it and took it so much further.
Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. The Surf Coast Shire Council has resolved its intention to declare a special charge scheme under the Local Government Act for the purpose of recouping costs associated with a proposed pathway construction, a project in Janjuk, as Ian Nicholls reports.
Here on the Surf Coast, hundreds of residents are up in arms over Shire plans to spend possibly as much as $2 million on footpaths for this area, where I'm standing right here in Janjuk. More than 900 residents or ratepayers from this area have lodged objections with the Surf Coast Shire Council, and as a result of that, it's taken days of hearings to sort out the problem. The big question now is, do the ratepayers have the numbers to make the Surf Coast Shire change or modify their plans in any way? We understand, after talking to the acting mayor, Councillor Dean Webster, we'll have to wait until March 24 before we get a final resolution to this vexing problem.
Quite a substantial response to the Janjuk Footpath Special Charge Scheme. with well over 900 responses. And to support the responses, we offer our community members a chance to speak to council in person to back up their written presentation. And we've had 4 days of presentations from our community, and it's enabled councillors to get a more greater understanding of the issue to make, in the end, to make the final decision on the 24th of March.
It's always difficult when the hip pocket nerve is involved. I mean, what is the actual cost or anticipated cost to the residents to have the footpaths in place?
It varies from $500-600 up to $1,500 for some properties. Council's component is about $1 million, or just under $1 million that we're putting towards it, and the community component sort of around 1.3 million. And we've certainly applied also for external grants from the federal government.
Ian Nicholls in Jan Jug for News Geelong.
Thank you, Ian. Geelong's Beckley Park Greyhound Racetrack is set to undergo a major redevelopment that will see its facilities rival that of any greyhound racetrack in the world. News Geelong spoke with Deputy Premier and Minister for Racing, Rob Hulls, the Mayor of the City of Greater Geelong, Councillor John Michell, and the voice of greyhound racing, Mr Ron Hawkswell, at the launch of the $6.2 million redevelopment.
$6.2 million redevelopment of Beckley Park for greyhound racing, but there'll be fantastic community facilities here. Upgraded grandstand, which means that there can be a dining room area seating something like 240 people. That'll be available to the public for things like weddings, functions and the like. There's going to be water saving measures on the track. This is going to be one of the best greyhound tracks anywhere in Australia. So it's just a great news for the Geelong community.
Oh, it certainly is. Minister Hulls come down here this morning and announced a $6.2 million redevelopment of Beckley Park greyhound racing track. Incorporating a new track, new facilities here. It's a great fillip for Geelong.
Oh yes, indeed so. Yes, very exciting times ahead. We've got wonderful facilities here at the moment, but in the next 6 months or so, when the track's redone and our facilities upstairs, etc., the judges' box and also the broadcasting tower, it's going to be all renovated. So yeah, some real exciting times ahead. And of course, I suppose you could say we are the voice of the nation. So it's quite important that everything is in order for us there too.
Well, it's our realisation of our strategic vision for the club. We had envisaged making Geelong a centre of greyhound excellence, and this is the first step towards doing that, along with the kennel block that was put in 2 years ago. So we're extremely excited. It's been 6 long years in the planning.
Thank you all to involved at this morning's launch. As we go to a break, it's the world of Geelong sport and weather to follow.